Welcome back to the Dynasty Arsenal podcast. My name is Sammy Stacks. I am joined, as always, by my good friend and co-host Tags.
What is
and
up?
Tags, we had some pretty interesting Monday Night Football games yesterday.
Yeah.
Do the Bills suck? Are the Patriots? Is the Dynasty back?
I think both are in play here. I have no idea what's wrong with the Bills. Like ugh, they just looked bad. Their defense is getting torn up. Penix looked like the second coming of prime Aaron Rodgers last night. And yeah, it was weird. Bills just got shredded.
Yeah, the defense looks terrible, and for fantasy, that might not be the worst thing in the world, right? But
We love a
Bills,
bad defense in fantasy.
Of course we do. And but the refusal to use James Cook at the end of the game, like they had Ty Johnson in on that last drive before Josh threw the pick. It's a little strange. Like I saw Ben Solak had a tweet. It was like the Bills are good at one thing and they refuse to do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, because Cook has been cooking this year. Like
he's been really
been
good.
Very effective when he's in. But they've done this the last 2 years with him. Like they just don't use him. For some reason in their head, they're like, oh, this is clearly not a James Cook game. Let's put in Ty Johnson in there. Let's put in Ray Davis for a touchdown. Like they try to find ways not to use Cook. But then they signed him to a contract extension this offseason. So, who knows? I don't understand their usage of Cook. It's very weird.
It is very weird. And, coming into the year, there was a lot of talk about the touchdown regression and how he just isn't playing a lot of the snaps. He's not a bell cow. He's not, he was capped at 60% of the snaps at any point last year. And it seems like they're just doing the same thing again. And it didn't matter the first few weeks. But now, I still think he's fine for the rest of the season. I mean, they talk about this everybody eats stuff. That's their whole motto. And they don't need a wide receiver one. And every time they ask the GM about when are you going to get a number one weapon, I mean, they've kind of tried. Dalton Kincaid was a first round pick. Keon Coleman was an early second round pick. And everybody eats, but nobody's given these guys any utensils, it seems like. And nobody is eating in this offense.
Only finger foods in the Bills' locker room.
Yeah, exactly. It's microwave chicken tenders. Yeah. I don't know.
But on the other side, we saw Bijan, who is...
oh, my God.
He's so fun.
Oh, the 81-yard touchdown was an insane run. And breaking that tackle at the end,
and then the 80-yard touchdown, he's just such a fun player to watch. And bringing it back to our early podcast where we had our kind of our hot takes episode, I'm feeling great about the hot take of Bijan over Jamar Chase, over Justin Jefferson in Dynasty startups. You get the running back 1 production plus a wide receiver 2 built into one package.
Yeah,
because he's always every single year he's gonna have wide receiver 2 numbers. Plus you mix in a full running back 1 workload. God, he's just so good, and he's one of those players that's used all over the field. They use him in the slot. They use him out wide. They use him on jet sweeps. They're really creative with their usage of him, which means a guaranteed floor every game. And then you have the ceiling weeks like this week where it's he puts up 40 points. I had a few teams this week where he just single-handedly put my team on his back and was like, you know what, let's get this dub.
And that's always,
no one else has to do anything, just chill.
That's always the best on Monday night. You need a big score. You're like, oh, I don't think it's going to happen. And then somebody goes off. That happened in the Flock League this week, actually. The guy with Bijan, I think he needed 28 from Bijan and Pitts.
Easy.
And he got it in the first half.
Never doubted.
No, never doubted. And I feel like every year, mid-season, everybody's reminded again, oh yeah, you need running backs. Running backs are good. It's they're so scarce in the offseason and stuff like that. And Bijan, I mean, even with Tyler Algier looking as good as he does, vulturing a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's able to put up a 40 bomb. Yeah, I don't have a single Bijan share in Dynasty. And he's one of those players, if you don't get him in a startup. And if you didn't have the
No,
101,
he's too expensive
you
now.
you're not. There was never a window to trade for him. Maybe after his rookie year, but
Yeah.
most people were still bought in.
This past offseason was a little bit of a buy window because I got him in, I think I bought him in 3 of my leagues this offseason.
Really,
And
just
now he's
paid.
like untouchable. Like you're going to have
Yeah,
to send Jamar Chase plus something to get Bijan from me.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So he's what he was touted to be, a generational talent, and he looks like he's living up to the hype of that.
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes it doesn't happen in year one, and sometimes you have Arthur Smith as your OC, and that's okay. We just need to be patient.
One of these days, Caleb
Um,
Johnson. You just gotta wait.
yeah. We will. I mean, we might talk about Caleb Johnson at some point today. I
Yeah.
don't know if he'll come up, but we may because we are
That's what we
doing
call a segue.
our rookie draft redo today. We are going to redraft the first 2 rounds of rookie drafts from this past offseason, the 2025 draft. Real quick before we get into that, I'll give a little update on the Flock League. I did lose this week. I ran into an absolute wagon.
Or went out.
Salvetri with CMC and JT.
Oof.
He also has George Pickens.
Oh no.
He also has Trey McBride, who finally has a quarterback, apparently, in Jacoby Brissett, to get him the ball in the end zone. Do you think, like Kyler, he gets to the end zone and he can't see anything that's like above 5'10"?
I think he's that way already.
Like, it might be like that might be the problem. Like Trey McBride, like, just isn't catching touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett goes in.
Yeah, there's no red zone threats because they can't see past the line anyways. So
Exactly, you can't. Yeah, it's impossible to be a red zone threat in the Cardinals offense. But I digress. So we just ran into a wagon. The team was also really beat up. I flexed Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne this week. That's where I was. Bourne did have a good game. He was like my best player.
He's doing his best, man. We never saw that on the Patriots. I'm still a little salty about that.
Yeah, it just wasn't enough. Devon Achane, obviously, he had a huge day as well, but couldn't bring me. I had like J.K. Dobbins, Jordan Love wasn't really good.
Yeah, just one of those weeks you just like, you know what, let's turn off the app for a little bit.
Yeah, but everybody should be coming back. Mike Evans should play this week, hopefully. Nico is back from the bye. Jordan Mason is back from the bye. Ricky Pearsall might be healthy now. I get to put my boy Justin Fields back in the lineup.
Oh, no.
That's right. We will never give up. Doesn't matter. Does negative 10 passing yards net on the day? I don't care.
It's fine.
Throw him in there.
Fine. It was the Broncos defense, you know.
Just don't play him in bad matchups. Just bench him every time.
Us Fields owners are actively the dog in the burning house. This is fine.
It's absolutely, That's really good. That's
also,
really good.
What's with the Bucs wide receiver room? I swear they're taking like rotations on who's going to be healthy and who's not. Like
Baker is just harnessing the power of his teammates through their injuries, and he's just just like leveling up.
He's making insane plays with Cameron Johnston out there, like
dude. Yeah, like Tez Johnson.
All the
148 pounds. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Your name's Johnson, and you're on the Bucs. You're catching a touchdown.
Yeah. So it's just funny. Like Egbuka is finally out, and now Mike Evans might go in. Godwin might return this week. We'll see.
I think they said he's not.
Practice
No,
reports
he said I think Todd Bowles already said that him and Bucky are not in play for Monday night.
Cool. I love when a player's ruled out like a week in advance.
Ruled out. Yeah.
Like let's just see how practice goes. Let's see if how they're doing. You know.
Yeah. Speaking, actually, I wanted to ask you about this because I don't think we've talked about this. How do you feel about the Monday night back-to-back doubleheader? Because we've had 2 doubleheaders where they're offset by an hour, and then we had the one, was it week 2 or 3?
Yeah.
With the games back to back, which Eastern time, which both of us are Eastern, that game starts at 10 p.m.
See, I love that because I'm a night owl.
You're an night owl. So
I hate the hour offset one. Like I had the games up last night on 2 screens, and it's like, I don't know, it's disorienting to jump between the 2 games and then being at different phases of the game. I would rather do what they did with the back-to-back, even if it means one of the game is at like 10 p.m. because I'm a night out anyways, so that's perfect for me.
Yeah, I mean, for the like normal fan, I get why. First of all, the best way to do it is easily one game. It's supposed to be an island game for a reason. So have the one game that starts at 8:15, 8:20 Eastern, and just have that. I don't know why we need to have two. But if you're going to have two, I am also with you, and I think it's the unpopular opinion. I would prefer the completely separate. It was kind of fun. Like the Monday, it was Texans Bucks and then Raiders Chargers, and it's like 6 hours of football on a Monday night. Sure, what? I mean, I'm not doing anything else.
We're so used to having one game for Monday Night Football that now that you get a second, you're like it's like eating dessert after a dinner. Like
Yeah, it's a little
it's like
bonus
oh,
that yeah,
there's
yeah.
more. This is
But I completely
perfect.
agree. The two games at the same time is terrible because like I have them both on, and do I keep switching the audio when one goes to commercial, or do I just have the audio on one of them the entire time and mute the other? Like it's like, what do I do here? And I can't follow either well enough to know exactly what's happening at all times.
Yeah,
It's just a mess. I hate the offset right
I
now.
love more football all the time, but I would much rather stagger. So
But that's the thing. It's not even more when they're at the same time because you'd be watching anyways.
yeah,
It's just more confusion. It's not like it's not more time. I guess it's an hour extra of watching. You get to like watch the full Bills Falcons first quarter and the full Bears Commanders fourth quarter.
yeah.
All right, so enough complaining from us. Let's get into this rookie redraft. Tags has our
I have a very
lucky
official.
Pikachu coin that we are going to flip. What's the other side? You got Pikachu on one side.
Oh,
What's the other
it's
side?
nothing. It's blank.
Okay,
I'm not sure if
so
this
why
is going
don't
to
you?
focus or not. There we go.
It's Pikachu. We know
It's
it's
Pikachu.
Pikachu. It's
All right.
Pikachu.
So do you want
The goat.
Pikachu or no Pikachu? The backside is a
Um.
Pokeball.
Okay. I'll take I'll take the Pokeball, and whoever gets it gets to choose if they're picking first or second. I
Yes,
guess. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll take the Pokeball.
it is Pikachu.
All right. What would you like, sir?
Oh, I will take the 102 because I don't want to have to deal with who to take at 101 because I think it's a very spicy spot now.
It is quite spicy.
So I'm going to let you
Um.
make that decision. And I have
Yeah.
a clear, I've got two players who are clear 101 competitors. So I can just
Okay.
take whoever you don't take.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I do have a stance here. And it is not the 101 from the offseason, which was obviously Ashton Genty. Now, this is not a anti Ashton Genty take. I had Ashton Genty as my 101 in the offseason, like everybody else
As
did.
everybody.
Pretty much everybody else. And the main driving force behind that is the draft capital, right? The top 10 picks at running back of the past, Bijan, who we just talked about, Saquon,
Yeah.
CMC,
They're
Leonard
about as
Fournette was
safe as
really
it
good.
gets.
It's about as safe as it gets, right? But now, 6 weeks into the season, we've seen stuff from other players that has improved their stock. So I'm still all in on Ashton Genty. I don't think his value has fallen a bit, but this player, I believe, has risen above him, and it's Omarion Hampton.
Oh,
Omarion Hampton would currently be my 101 if we were redrafting today. And he was my solidified 102 in the offseason. That might be different from some other people. I know Travis Hunter was going there a little bit. Some people liking to take the first overall pick, and the quarterback position is really valuable. Cam Ward was there for some people. Ted McMillan for some, maybe. For me, it was Omarion Hampton because of the first round running back draft capital. It's one of the safest bets to make in all of rookie drafts. And for me, it's very simple. He has looked incredible. He has, when he comes back, he has the backfield to himself. And I believe that he will prove that he can handle that workload to himself so that going forward, he will be a 3-down workhorse. He has the size to be a 3-down workhorse. He has the receiving skill set from college and into the NFL to be a three down workhorse. And he is on a top, what should be with their pieces on the offensive line back, which they are currently missing both tackles, which are probably both top 10 tackles in the league. Right? That offensive line is very good when it is healthy, and we're playing Dynasty here. And I think that he will be a first round startup pick for the next 5 years. Now, Genty is in a much worse situation, and we can talk about him more when he gets selected. But that is why I'm Hampton over Genty. It is simply the situation. And I believe that, like I said, that Hampton will be a first round startup pick for the next 5 years. I think that he is in the Bijan Gibbs tier in Dynasty right now.
That's spicy. He was not one of the two players who was fighting for my 101. Okay. So that did not make my decision any easier. I like it.
It makes my decision at 103 really easy, I think.
Hampton finished as RB4 and RB7 before the injury. His last 3 games, he had 6 catches, 5 catches, 6 catches. So
you love it.
In these, when you have like a top 4 pick in the rookie draft, you're really looking for a player who can take the number 1 overall spot in their position group. And I think Hampton has that ability. I like it. I don't like it for the fact that I just traded him this week. Which maybe we talk
for
about
somebody else that we'll talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that trade later on in this little mock draft. But yeah, that's spicy. So now I have the decision of 2 players I really like at the 102. And it's tough. I'm going to go Genty. I think draft capital is there on his side. His last 3 games, he finished as RB1, RB15, and RB12. One of his games, he had 5 catches for 42 yards. So he has the receiving upside. And to me, he's kind of a Jonathan Taylor, but with a little bit more receiving upside. And has the potential to, and has the ability to be a running back 1 overall, which is what we look for in these picks. So that's going to be my 102 pick. Not a whole lot of change value wise from kind of where he went in everyone's drafts this offseason. Did you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's who I would have taken as well. I would still have Genty as my second ranked player. I mean, we saw with Bijan, like, you can't give up on these guys too early. This Raiders offense is atrocious.
Yeah.
Geno looks terrible. Do not take any solace in the fact that they beat the Titans. All right. Callahan is fired. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Thank God.
Do you think Pete Carroll lasts longer than a year? Does he get fired this year?
I don't think they fire him in year 1.
I feel like they're on the block for potential to be a one and done coaching staff. It'll be interesting to see
painting
how it plays
his legacy.
Out.
Like, I mean, he's been that'd be tough. Chip Kelly's got to figure it out. I feel like nobody's talking about him.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Geno doesn't look good at all. The offensive line is terrible. We talked a few weeks ago. Genty is getting hit behind the line of scrimmage more than any other running back.
The yards per contact is awful.
Yeah, and the talent will win out. Like, sure, Genty, maybe he's a buy for rebuilders or reloaders. Like, if you're punting the season and you don't, like, if, something like that, I think that he's going to be absolutely fine. And, like I said, the talent's going to win out at that position. You would hope that they do figure it out eventually, even if it takes past his rookie season. But even then, like, he's had a couple of very good games stacked on top of each other now.
Yeah, and I think even with the awful supporting cast he has, he's going to put up low-end running back 1 numbers at the worst. So I think he has a very safe floor. And obviously we've seen the ceiling play with his 3 touchdowns, huge RB1 overall finish a few weeks ago. So I like
absolutely. Yeah, Genty would be my 102 as well. At the 103, and this decision is pretty easy for me. This one's pretty easy. It's a Mika Egbuka.
Yep.
He's jumped to the wide receiver 1 in this draft class. He was the wide receiver 3 pretty consensus uh, coming into the or in the offseason when rookie drafts were happening. But he's just come out the gate and been incredible right away. 2 touchdowns in week 1. Since then, he was 4 for 29 against Houston. Not great, but he caught a touchdown. 6 for 85, 4 for 101, 7 for 163. He's a red zone target. And looking at this, the trajectory, of this offense, Mike Evans is 32. Chris Godwin is about to be 30, or he might be 30 already, and he's coming off his second serious leg injury. Emeka Egbuka is the future of this team. He can absolutely be a 1. It's similar to like Jefferson coming out of college, if you guys remember those conversations. JSN as well, where it's like this guy's just going to be solid. He's probably a number 2 on a team. He's going to get open. He's going to catch the football. Oh, so he's really good at football and he's going to be a number 2 somewhere? Like, Egbuka is just incredible. He gets open. He's good at the catch point. He is making one-handed grabs all over the place. Him and JSN dueling in that Week 5 game of Bucks against the Seahawks was so cool to see. So fun. And I just think that, like, we were talking about him versus Malik Neighbors a few weeks ago, right? And that's where his value is. He's going to be a top 2 round startup pick. And this also goes to the point of Travis Hunter has been abysmal and Tet McMillan hasn't really broken out yet. And so until they prove that they can, I mean, Tet was a top 10 pick, but Egbuka's a first rounder. And, you know, we see top 10 picks at the wide receiver position fail all the time. Not all the time, but it happens.
I still have PTSD from Corey Davis.
Well, there you go. More than a top 10 running back. So I'm not so much holding on to the draft capital with them as I would be with running back. But yeah, Emeka Egbuka has been incredible. The injury is whatever. He hurts his hamstring. He's going to be out for a few weeks. It doesn't matter for dynasty rankings. Egbuka is the 103 for me right now.
Yeah, wide receiver 6 on the season so far in PPR.
Unreal.
You literally could not ask for more for a rookie wide receiver.
Through his first 6 games, it's insane.
Yeah, and I'm not even worried if they like draft another wide receiver this offseason.
No.
I think he's established himself, and Baker obviously loves him. Like before we even started playing games, Baker's coming out about like, this Egbuka guy. He's the most I'm excited for this year because of this guy we brought in. So he's the future of the Bucks offense, and man, he's just so good. He was my competing player for the 101.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Because I could easily see, depending on your team build, I don't think it's weird to take Egbuka over Genty, depending on how you're kind of building out your team.
Yeah, I think that I will always prefer, or at least 6 weeks into their rookie year, I think that there is more volatility for Egbuka's value than there is for Genty or Hampton. There's a lot of exterior factors that things can be blamed on with the running back. And so we're playing Dynasty like a market, right? If Egbuka comes back from the hamstring injury and he is awful, which I don't think that's going to happen at all, but hypothetically, his value could fall. If Hampton comes back from that and the offensive line is still beat up and he's not very good and he's coming off an injury, the excuses will be made and his value won't change much. So that's why I would go the running backs ahead of Egbuka. But saying that, I would say that they're all in the same tier.
Love it. Who's your 104?
That's your 104.
Oh, it is mine. Oh, I got a spicy one.
Oh, really?
Mason Taylor. Just kidding.
that would be absolutely
my
incredible.
Heart says Mason Taylor, but my brain says Tyler Warren, which man, he's already Brock Bowers light, and might not even be a light. He might just be Brock Bowers. He's just tied into overall on the season. He's used everywhere on the Colts. I feel extremely safe starting him every week. I
Yeah.
know, I know I'm almost guaranteed for 12, 13, 14 points, which at the tight end position, that can be pretty volatile position, is just like insane safety to have.
Hmm.
And I think he's already up there or has to be up there with the Bowers and McBride tier of tight end. He's just so good. The Colts first drive this last week, he had a end around carry. He had 5 targets, 3 catches for 37 yards and a touchdown. And that was on one drive. Like the Colts run through this guy and he gives you such a safe floor at tight end while also providing a big ceiling of being able to put up tight end one overall numbers, being able to put up 25, 30 points a game. So he's been a big riser for me because he jumped up to the 104 for me, and it's pretty unanimous. Like I feel like I have a tier of Genti and Egbuka as the 101, 101A and B, and then I
Hmm.
have Hampton and Warren as the next two guys in a clear tier for me.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with this ranking of Tyler Warren. He would also be my fourth overall player. He's averaging, it's very marginal. It's like zero point 0.2 points, but he's averaging more per game than Trey McBride so far in 2025. And to do that as a rookie is incredible. I mean, 14 points per game. Like he's putting up low end wide receiver one numbers as a tight end, high end wide receiver two numbers. That's so valuable, especially when the position is so barren. Like we talk about this all the time. Tight ends 6 through 12, they're whatever. They don't really push the needle. They don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Having one of these guys, and then once you get into these tight end premium leagues that are half a point extra, 0.75 extra, a 2 PPR for tight ends, they just become so incredibly valuable. Brock Bowers was going in the late first of startups this offseason. Right now, I think people maybe have learned a little bit from that and won't push Tyler Warren up that high, but he will without a doubt be like a first half of the second round pick if he keeps this up.
The
And
difference between QB 6 and tight end 6 and tight end 12 right now is 10 points. Once you get into
yeah, oh my god,
that range of tight end, they're just replaceable. Like
yeah,
you could have Kyle Pitts or you could have Hunter Henry. They're the same.
yeah,
Same with like Laporta is tight end 6 right now, and Hunter Henry is like 10 points behind him at like tight end 13. They're 10 points over a 6 week stretch is nothing. They're the same player.
no, they're the exact same. And yeah, like another reason I love Tyler Warren so much is that I don't think this offense could change negatively in a way that hurts him. Right? Even if Daniel Jones moves on and they draft a rookie or something. Like the goal, this is like I was gonna say this with Bijan. It's not like, okay, how can we fit Tyler Warren into our offense? It's how can we mold our offense around our best weapon in Tyler Warren.
It's funny how we're speaking of Daniel Jones in
Oh
this
my
year
god.
as if like, oh, losing him would be a huge blow to the Colts. Like what a
Yeah.
crazy year
I think it
for
would
the
be a blow to the
NFL.
Colts, but I love Tyler Warren so much because I don't think it would hurt him. Like
Yeah.
there's just the way that they get him the ball, the way that he gets open is I feel like he's quarterback proof. And Shane Steichen looks like he's going to hold on to this job for a little while. And you want that stability and that comfort with these types of high valued players, right? That you know that
Yeah.
that nothing is going to change within the offense that's going to hurt them. And that's how I feel about Tyler
If
Warren.
anything, Steichen's going to get a contract extension soon with the way the
Yeah,
Colts have been
he's
playing.
really good coach. Really good coach.
Cool. Who is your 105?
So yeah, this is hard. I completely agree. There are those four that we've talked about. It is the top four, and this is difficult. I'm just thinking through this, and I think I'm going to go with running back Quinshon Judkins as my 105. There's a bunch of guys you could take here. We will talk about them, obviously. What I like about Quinshon is even in this, what is, you can't describe as anything besides an awful situation, he's looked so good and he's produced. Obviously, not a good game this past week against the Steelers, 12 carries for 36 yards. But this offensive line is not very good. He has Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, and before that, it was Joe Flacco. And he is like, while he's not playing more than 60% of the snaps, he's not really playing in the 2-minute drill, not playing on all the third downs. He is the first and second down running back no matter what. He is the bell cow in that sense of he's taking all the carries. 18 carries in week 3, 21 in week 4, 23 in week 5. He's a top 24 running back in all 3 of those weeks. And I think that Kevin Stefanski is a good enough coach that if he sticks around, this is the type of talent that I want at the running back position. I think that the situation can only get better. Like, it can't get worse, right? It couldn't possibly get worse than it has been for Quinshon Judkins, and he's produced. And he had to deal with no training camp because of all the legal stuff, right? He didn't play in week 1. He only played 27% of the snaps in week 2. And then he immediately comes on the scene against a really good Packers defense, and he looks great. And so I think that he's very talented. His counterpart, who he will forever be compared to, Travion Henderson, just isn't getting the opportunity that he is. And so I want the guy who will be the running back, the guy for this team for the rest of the year, and his value it won't fall from where it is right now, because we know that he's the guy for this team and the offense is on an upward trajectory. So I think that there are a lot of guys that I could take at this 105 spot, but I think that Quinshon just edges it out.
I like it. He has running back 1 upside, obviously. He's averaging almost 5 yards per carry with one of the worst offensive lines in the game. There's absolutely no threat of any passing attack with Dylan Gabriel. If you watch those games, they're bringing the safeties up, they're bringing the linebackers up, because Dylan Gabriel cannot hit a receiver further than 15 yards down the field. He just airmails it every time. So teams are just like, we're just going to stop Judkins because that's the only legit weapon they have. Mm-hmm. So they're just crowding the box. They're moving their whole defense further to the line of scrimmage. And the fact that he's still, even after the bad game this past week, is still averaging almost 5 yards per carry behind that line, behind that game plan, man, he's just great.
Yep.
So yeah, I like it. This whole middle section is very tough for me.
It's all over the place. There's 3 guys that I was very happy to have at the 105.
Same.
But yeah, it's very messy.
So now I'm stuck between 2 players at the 106.
I'm so curious. I wish I was just in your head, and I could, but we'll find out.
I'm stuck with 2 players at the 106. And I think I'm going to take the positional value bump. And I'm going Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Quarterback's just so valuable in Superflex. And Dart is just, dude, he's a stud. He's taken over the New York Giants. Him and Scatabo had just completely changed the culture of that team. He last 3 starts, he finished as QB 11, QB 16, and QB 3. And we saw him just absolutely torch the Eagles defense. He's got rushing upside every game. His last 3 games, he got 54 yards, 55 yards, and 58 yards rushing in 3 games. Plus 2 touchdowns on the ground. He's everything you want in a fantasy football quarterback. He's going to be giving you the rushing floor. He doesn't even have neighbors. He's got Lil Jordan Humphrey out there,
dude,
looking like a baller again. Yeah. So I think you've got to take the positional value, and Dart has the ability to be a QB1. just when on his rushing upside alone. So I would absolutely love getting Dart here at the 106.
I think it's a really good value. Uh, I'm in on Jackson Dart. I think he looks good. I was very very low on him coming out of the draft because those late first round quarterbacks where it's like,
The Kenny
okay,
Pickens.
you had the opportunity to take him with the third overall pick and you didn't like him there, but now you're going to trade up into the first round to grab him late first. Like those quarterbacks, besides Lamar, the track record is awful.
Yeah.
It's like Johnny Manziel and these other guys that just did not work out. And so I didn't like that. I didn't like the thought of the Ole Miss offense not translating. I mean, the dude didn't even have a cadence. Like he was his cadence was a clap. If you guys saw that video with Gruden, that's what he was doing in
Gruden's
college.
like, no, but seriously, what's
He's
your
like, "What is
cadence?
it?" And he's like, just claps again. Yeah, really funny video. You should check it out. But he's looked really good. He's looked the part. He's got to stop diving headfirst into defenders. That he's not Cam Scadaboo. Cam Scadaboo can do that. Jackson Dart cannot sustainably do that.
That's honestly
And
my only concern with Dart. But like,
I have no doubt that Dayball will rein that in. Like,
Yeah.
he knows. He's not an idiot.
it's like, hey man, you're too valuable to the team.
Yeah.
We need you. You need to stay healthy. Just
Run out of
just
bounds.
slide. Like,
Or just run out of bounds. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just, yeah. But, and here's what I think, and this is sort of like a pessimistic view. Dart was one of the three that I considered at 105. My pessimistic view is that I think he's on like a Bo Nix trajectory where he's going to have these boom games of rushing, but it's not going to be every game. He's going to end up averaging like 40 yards a game, similar to what Bo Nix did. And but he's not necessarily like the full on, maybe he's the full on mobile quarterback, and we'll see. There's plenty of season left to find that out, right? But I think, as I talked about with the quarterback conversation a few episodes ago, I think he's going to end up being a guy who I don't see as a needle mover, who I don't see as a like consistent plug in your lineup every single week guy going forward. But I think his value will be there. Like if Jackson Dart continues how he has done so far through these first 3 weeks of starting, he will be a second round startup pick. Like I don't have any doubt in that. And that value is very important. And if you don't believe in him, like I may not believe in him long term, then I can move him. So I do like it. He would not be the guy that I would take at 106. I would take somebody else who I will talk about now.
it's probably
But
my other player I was deciding between.
He is definitely very close in that conversation, and he's obviously looked very good, much better than the number one overall pick.
I think there's two ways you
Go
can
Titans.
there's two ways you can play the Dart move. Because we see a lot of times the sophomore slump hit quarterbacks. We see Bo Nix hitting that sophomore slump now. What that actually is defenses have gotten more tape on the quarterback.
They've got a year of film, and they have a summer to look at it.
They're able to identify, okay, this guy's a threat, especially if they're in their conference. They identify, here's tape on this quarterback. Here's personnel we can bring in to counter him in the offseason. They bring in that personnel, and then suddenly that rookie quarterback is not doing as hot in his sophomore year. I can see that happening with Dart once teams find a way to game plan around his rushing. And if this offseason you're not a believer in Dart, I think he's going to have the same value jump as Bo Nix did this offseason, where Bo Nix jumped up to a mid to late second round startup pick. And we see that happen every year with rookie quarterbacks who have a good year. We saw that with Stroud, who jumped up to like a mid first.
Dude, he was like the 103.
Yeah. And it happens every year where teams get more tape, they game plan around those quarterbacks more, and then they have a bad second year. So I think if you're not a believer in Dart, which is fine, Dart's you don't have to believe in Dart. I'm on the fence right now. You have a great selling window this offseason where
Absolutely.
you can cash out on a big investment of return, and you'll win no matter what. Even if he is continues to be a really good quarterback, there's not a whole lot more value he can gain on top of that. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think he's a top 6 quarterback value unless he takes a huge step up in what we've and shows characteristics and traits we haven't seen on tape.
Yeah.
Which is possible. It happens every year. Josh Allen was one of those guys.
Exactly. And it's the diamonds in the rough, right? And I think he would have to turn into Josh Allen for it to be a bad move to sell him at a second round startup pick
Yeah.
value.
But I think if you're not in on Dart, I think you have a great selling window this offseason because his value is just going to skyrocket after this year.
Yeah, absolutely. If it hasn't already. I mean, I can't imagine what the Dart own. I don't have a single share. I can't imagine what they're asking
I've
for.
gotten a lot of 2026 first for Dart offers the past few weeks, and I'm just like,
It's a
no,
joke.
I'm fine holding. So I'd expect right now his price is like a first and a second, maybe too late first kind of thing to get him. And I think if he keeps,
even then,
if he puts a
I'd want to
season on tape
hold.
where he finishes as a quarterback one, then
Yeah.
his value is going to be insane this offseason.
If I have him, and I don't even know if I want to move him for like a package of picks right now because
Yeah, I'm just holding.
unless you can get like one of the guys that we've already talked about, or you can get like a solidified elite asset, I don't want to move him because you could be looking at that like come the off season. It's like, oh, I have the 109 and the 112, and I gave away an early second or mid second startup pick.
Yeah,
That's gonna feel terrible.
it's not going to feel good.
Yeah, I would just hold, see where the off season is where the value will fall, or fall into place.
Especially if this upcoming rookie class is a little weak on quarterbacks.
Which, I mean, we'll see.
It's kind of shaping up, but obviously there's a few guys that are pretty interesting. But yeah, if there's no top 3 rookie pick worthy quarterbacks in this upcoming draft, people are going to be looking at those rookie quarterbacks who do well, like Dart, and be like, hey, here's the bank for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is our 106, Jackson Dart. The 107. I'm curious if this is the guy because, I think to me it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's Teteroa McMillan.
Yep.
Okay. So Teteroa McMillan is not in a great situation, obviously, but he was an elite prospect. Top 10 draft capital, goes to a spot with no target competition. And we've seen that kind of play out. He's playing 90% of the snaps. He's averaging 8 targets a game through 6 weeks, which is a lovely number. Now, that has only turned into 12.8 PPR points per game. That's because he has 2 touchdowns, which both came in this past week against the Cowboys. Now, Bryce Young does not look very good. Now, I have scrubbed our very first episode where I said that I was a Panthers believer. So that no longer exists for anybody trying to freezing cold takes me.
I feel like you mentioning it now though is kind of ruins that whole plan of yours.
Yeah, but I can't say it I can't make the joke without saying I did it. So, but yeah, Bryce Young has not looked very good.
What take?
He doesn't. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't seem to be the future of this franchise. But he's doing a fine job of making Teteroa McMillan relevant. He's the wide receiver 23 in total points. He's 29 in points per game in PPR, which is fine. And I think that he's shown the talent enough that we know that he can be he's probably a top 15 dynasty wide receiver right now, I think.
Yeah, probably low end.
Low end, low wide receiver 1, high wide receiver 2 in dynasty. Would you
rather have Tet or Lad McConkey? I feel like that's kind of the range that he's in.
I'll probably take Tet.
Same
That's really
same here,
close.
but it like you have to
But
pause and think about it.
yeah, and it's hard. The dynasty rankings in season are so difficult because everything changes every week and all this stuff. And Lad obviously just had a good game. But with Tet, I still believe in the talent. Top 10 NFL draft capital. He is an elite target earner. He is going to be the wide receiver one on this team. Like people might even still say Egbuka. Oh, they could take a wide receiver in the top 10 because Godwin and Evans are gone, and then all of a sudden Egbuka, like Tedero McMillan, will be the wide receiver one for this team. He is that build. He's the Drake London. I mean, honestly, Drake London comps really well in terms of career trajectory. Like not only the size, but also Drake London, bit of a slow rookie year, like awful quarterback play, and now we're seeing what he can really do once he's fed. And I think that Tet easily has that potential, and once he gets into that situation, he will blossom and he will absolutely be like a top 6 wide receiver.
Yeah, and I think bringing in more wide receiver help is not going to be a bad thing for Tet.
Not
Like
at all.
our defense is really concerned about Leggett or Hunter Renfro.
Not, I mean,
Like,
they're not concerned about Leggett freaking laddering the football as he's falling down to an unsuspecting Rico Dowdle. That was terrible, dude.
yeah, so I love Tet. I actually had Tet. We should at the end of this each say our if you have your rankings, each say our rankings because I had Tet in consideration at the 104. And
He's my 6th overall.
yeah. So I had him and Warren. I bumped Warren over him, but it was fairly close. And then
That is close. It's just the I've already seen the production,
yep.
and so I can't like. And that's the thing. I think it's more Warren's value has skyrocketed, and Tet's has just kind of stayed the same.
Yeah. Yeah, Ted's value really has just it is just
And it's
exactly
just
where we took him.
yeah,
So
exactly. It's just these guys have jumped him as opposed to him falling.
yeah. I think Tet has I'm not sure Tet has wide receiver one potential.
Really.
I view him as like a T Higgins 2.0. I
Mm.
think he's going to be in that like wide receiver two, a high end wide receiver two that might bust into like the wide receiver 10, 11, 12 range each year. But I mean, at least he's so far has stayed healthier than T Higgins. So that
I guess
alone,
my thoughts on that are I think that like T Higgins would be producing like Drake London is if he was in the Falcons offense right now.
yeah,
Like I think that T Higgins is incredibly talented and he's sort of just been a victim of Jamar Chase. Um and if Ted is as talented as T Higgins, then I think that he will be wide receiver one because I do think that T Higgins would be a wide receiver. And yeah, maybe it's not the best comp, but I do think that T Higgins would be a wide receiver one if he was in a position to lead a team in targets. But he's just with a top 3 wide receiver.
yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm very curious this offseason if they keep losing, if they're going to be in talks for a quarterback in this draft. And if that's a
Yeah.
good or a bad thing for Tet. Honestly, I think at this point, any quarterback change is kind of a good change for Tet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. Tet was a tough one for me to figure out where to slot him in. And now I am stuck with a decision at 108, which was the decision I was hoping to avoid.
I think I know exactly what it is.
Oh man.
It's very easy for me, honestly, but I understand I understand the difficulty.
My heart says one player, my brain says another.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna go do it just to feel better about my Hampton trade. I'm going Scatabo at
Yeah.
108. And I was torn between him and Henderson. Scatabo is just so good already. He's running back 8 overall on the year and hasn't even started all of his games. he's
Yeah.
he's clearly got just the fact that he can put up the numbers he does has running back one overall potential, assuming he can avoid a concussion every single play.
Yeah. He is a concussion.
Dude, he's so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think looking back at this draft class, we probably It was Scatabo is a weird one because it was a player we all loved going into the
Yeah.
draft, and then he got third round draft capital. So we're
Fourth.
like fourth, yeah.
He was in the hundreds.
So we're just like, oh, the NFL doesn't love this guy as much as we do, apparently. So we had to drop him. And he was going to a situation where there's Singletary, there's Tracy, a lot of competition in the backfield. And with a fourth round draft capital, you're not sure he's going to be able to carve out that running back one kind of workload there. And maybe it's tough because when you're evaluating draft classes for these mock drafts, you're like trying to figure out the production profiles in college versus draft capital of where they're taken versus situation they're going into. And Scatabo was one that was like, everything on tape is amazing. Like
Yeah.
his senior year in college, he had 1,700 yards rushing, 600,
Insane.
605 yards receiving, 24 total touchdowns. Like those are Christian McCaffrey numbers.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And
he was like, oh, he's slow.
And he went in the fourth round and we're like, what do we do with this? Like, I have no idea what to do with this. But his production profiles out as a workhorse running back that has receiving upside, who has moxie, as the kids say. Like, he has aura. He has that leadership ability in the locker room. Like, the Giants already love that guy.
Dude, he's like just a bulldog. Like, he's a pit bull. It's insane. And you're absolutely right. Trying to balance pre-draft analysis and pre-draft opinions with what the NFL, who are supposed to be good at this, right? They are supposed to know more than we do. And when they let him drop to the fourth round, it's just really hard. The hit rate on day 3 running backs is not good at all. It is not good. And so you have this guy, like you said, who's putting up McCaffrey numbers in college, but he's slow. I don't think he even think he ran a 40 because he knew he wasn't going to do it well.
No, I think he was hampered with like a little leg tweak too during the combine.
So he falls to the fourth round and everybody's like, okay, yeah. But if everybody just been like, no, this guy's actually just really good at football, which was so obvious when watching Arizona State, it's just one of those things where I don't know if there's a lesson to be learned here, because there will be another guy who looks good in college who drops in the draft. Troy Franklin, right, is a good example. He was being mocked as a second round pick. Drops to the fourth round to the Broncos. Everybody's like, what the heck happened here? He still gets like late second rookie draft capital, and then he hasn't been done anything. So this will happen again, and I don't know if there's a lesson to be learned here. Maybe we can look into that more in the offseason, but this is also who I would be taking at the 108. He has just shown that, I mean, there were people that ranked him ahead of Travion coming out of college.
Yeah.
Like draft analysts. So how long until we forget the draft capital and just rank him based on what we've seen with our eyes? And I think that point has already come.
He ran a 4.65 at his pro day, by the way.
That is very slow.
It's very slow, but it's kind of okay for a running back. He's not a wide receiver. He doesn't need that top end speed for the most part.
Well, like, how valuable is it that he's able to, like what Bijan did yesterday?
Yeah.
The 81-yard touchdown. If Scatabo never does that in his career, that's fine. If he's just consistently turning 2-yard gains into 6-yard gains over and over and over again, and he's just plowing guys. Like, he is literally truck sticking linebackers that are 30 pounds heavier than he is. It's insane. Like, his teammates, nobody on his team is saying, oh, this guy, he's really committed. He works so hard. He's always working. He's a great teammate. No, they're like, that guy's crazy. Cam Scatabo is an idiot. Have you seen the video of them? It's Arizona State. They're waiting to go on the field.
Dude,
His teammates are walking by,
He's like,
and he's just headbutting a brick
I'm
wall.
fixing my neck.
He's like, I'm getting my neck ready.
Just constantly
This guy's
banging into that.
He's just
head.
a maniac. He's an absolute maniac,
dude. And the other players on his team just watching him do that. Also, they're just like,
they're not even like
bro?
bothered by it. They're like, yeah, they're like, that's Cam.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, it's quite
funny.
the jump for him.
He's also something that's very valuable, as we've established in past episodes, has the meme ability. So,
oh yeah,
all the memes coming out of like the C and CTE stands for Cam Scatabo.
Yeah, that's incredible. But he's incredible.
He's already running back 8 on the year and hasn't played all of the games. Going back to the trade I made, I'm in a league. I'm desperate for a quarterback because my QB2 is Geno Smith. And I traded Hampton. And I was also a competing team that was going against like my main competitor that week. I traded Hampton for Justin Fields and Cam Scatabo. And my thought process on this was Fields is going to give me an upgrade over Geno Smith, hopefully. Freaking, you know what? Can we just not play games in London or the overseas games?
Oh my God.
I hate them. They're always bad. The offenses always are sluggish. There's never any offensive games when they go overseas. Like, that's why I'm like kind of tossing away this Fields game, because it's against the Broncos, who are a very good defense. And it's an overseas game where offenses literally never do well overseas. I can't even remember the last time we had a good offensive game with one of our international games.
Next week, Jags Rams. That should be a great game.
Dude, it's going to be. It should be. It's going to finish like 10-9.
10-9, yeah. No. It's gonna be no touchdowns. It's gonna be 9-6.
Yeah.
And that would just solidify it for me. Like, the Jets offense is bad no matter what, but in London against the Broncos, I didn't want any part of that this week. And I think that, with your trade, I think that if Fields can help you win a championship, which I think that he can, I think that Scatabo could be ranked close enough. Like, I love Hampton. Obviously, he was the 101 here for me. I think that Scatabo can be ranked close enough to Hampton that you win this deal.
Yeah. And I think Scatabo's never going to leapfrog Hampton because of draft capital. No, but won't. If we look at points per game, I would almost bet that they're going to be the same player. Like, Hampton's not going to score me that many more points per game compared to Scatabo, but you can get Scatabo for cheap, and I can add a QB1, fingers crossed.
QB1 upside.
QB1 upside on top for free, while only dropping a little bit in points per game. And
I think a lot of people,
as a contending team, all I care about is maximizing my points per game, and trying to put the most points on the field possible. I'm not so worried about what's my 5-year value of this team.
Exactly. And I don't think you're losing too much value. And you're absolutely right. Scatabo won't jump Hampton. As long as, if both are good, like if Hampton sucks, then okay, yeah. But Scatabo won't jump Hampton because of the draft capital. But I think that, we've gotten used to now with these day 3 guys, Kyren Williams, Bucky Irving, sort of calling it pretty early that, okay, we're going to throw out this day 3 draft capital. This is a very good player, right? Bucky, we did it this offseason. Kyren took a little longer. People weren't really believing. Bucky, right away, we're like, this is, maybe not you. You were a bit of a hater.
I was a Bucky hater.
But a lot of people were like, okay, yeah, I don't care that he was taken on day 3. He's a good running back and a good offense. He's the bell cow. We're going to value him accordingly. And I think they'll do the same thing with Scatabo.
Can I say I was a hater against Bucky because he didn't have the same production profile in college? Whereas
it's a completely different situation.
Whereas I'm way more on board with Scatabo because we saw him completely tear up in college, and we saw him in the college playoffs against some of the best teams in the world. He put Arizona State on his back, and That game was crazy. He even had passing yards. Like he just did
Yeah. Oh
everything.
yeah. Yeah, he was ridiculous.
So I'm on board with Scatabo, but that's my 108. I'm guessing your 109 is who I struggled very very hard with deciding if I wanted to take Scatabo or Henderson in this situation.
So it's actually not,
Going
but
positional value.
it is very close. So we're gonna have to. Obviously, we should take more time talking about the top 8 names, but we're gonna have to motor to get through the rest of this thing.
Yeah, we got fly.
Yeah. Um,
You know what?
there are
Let's have
four
a
names
3 hour
here.
pod. We'll just make a note for people watching to put it on like 3 times speed at a certain point.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But there are 4 names here that all were in the same tier for me in the summer,
Interesting.
and none of them have really done anything.
Yeah.
So, and I will take the one that it's really hard. I'm going to take Cam Ward, and it's the positional value play. Number 1 overall picks, they get a lot of rope. Bryce Young is still starting, right? So I think Cam Ward is good. I think that Cam Ward has been a product of a awful system. His head coach just got fired 6 games into his NFL career. His value will hold more than the rest of these guys if it continues like this. Now, you hope that Travion, right, improves. You hope that he starts to get more work. We hope that Travis Hunter starts playing more, right? But Cam Ward, I just think that his value will hold more. And I think that once this offense is good, Cam Ward will be very good. And so that's why I would take him here at the 109. I think it's pretty simple.
Cool. Yeah. Taking the safety of the positional value at that spot makes a lot of sense because Ward's value is going to maintain. If Hunter doesn't pick it up this year, his value is going to plummet.
Exactly.
So,
and now you can take your guy at 110.
It's the safest pick. 110 is Henderson for me. I'm still a believer in the talent. I struggled really hard with Scatabo or Henderson here. But only getting 25 to 30% snap shares when your only competition is Ramondre, who fumbles every 5 carries, is a concern. And I think we've seen it from Vrabel though. So I had to look up earlier when Derrick Henry got drafted because Derrick Henry had such a slow start to his career.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted the year before Vrabel came in. But Henry had very early second draft capital, and Vrabel just looked at that and was like, "You know what? You can sit a year. You can chill for a year or two." His production didn't pick up really until his 3rd year. I don't think that's going to be the same situation. I think next year we're going to see Henderson start jumping up a lot with more offensive creativity, packages he's being used in, screens, just finding ways to get him the ball. And I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen that already. But McDaniels is kind of a old school offensive coordinator where he doesn't care about feeding a player. He just cares that the offense is productive and efficient. So I feel like the Patriots offense right now is in a if it's not broken, don't fix it situation. And they're fine getting wins against the Bills. Being first in the AFC East, let's go. Even though like they're not using Henderson at all. So I'm a believer in the talent, believer in the situation. I'm just kind of sitting and hoping they figure out ways to get him on the field and ways to get him productive.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's talented, and for whatever reason, Vrabel trusts Ramondre more right now. And you would hope that the talent wins out and that Travion will earn his stripes. It's like the old school coach thing of like, oh, the rookie's got to earn it, even though he's very clearly better. Like, I don't think anybody would say that Ramondre is a better player than Travion Henderson. He's more talented. I just don't think that there's an argument for that. He's just in a tough spot. Like, I have no doubt that if Travion was on the Chargers, he would be cooking right now.
I have a theory, and we've seen McDaniels do this before during the Brady era, is that the Patriots generally don't show their hand offensively early in the season. I'm very curious if we start seeing, if we're a playoff contending team and it's later in the season, we have some must wins to kind of beat out the Bills for the first spot or whatever. I can almost guarantee they have a game plan for him. They have packages for him. And they're just like, you know what? Let's chill. We don't need to show our hand this early in the season.
Yeah.
Let's wait until later in the season, and then we can utilize Henderson as we want to kind of throw teams off. And
Yeah, and
maybe
like
that's a little bit of coping from the Henderson owner side, but we've seen McDaniels do this in the past. He did it with James White. Like suddenly in the
mm,
playoffs, James White is a monster. Regular
yeah,
season, he was whatever.
whatever. Yeah.
But once we got to the playoffs, he used James White all over the place in creative ways that like he never showed during the season. So if we continue winning and are a playoff contender, it's almost worse for Henderson because I think they're just gonna let him coast out. They're just gonna let him rest, just kind of do his thing, work on the off off teams.
Yeah.
And then once it hits playoffs, I bet we see a lot of like creative packages and creative usage with them
Yeah.
that teams aren't going to be ready for.
Yeah, I don't think it's Cope because like this is the regime that drafted him. Like Vrabel has a hand in taking him in the second round. Like Vrabel has a vision for him being a part of this offense. And while Ramondre got that contract extension and he probably will be there, this could easily flip in year two. And I think that there probably will be a really good buy window for Travion Henderson in the offseason.
Love it.
My I think we're what, 111 here?
111.
111, I'm gonna take Travis Hunter. Draft capital, uh, obviously very good prospect. I don't agree with the notion that he was an average corner and an average wide receiver, and he got picked second overall because he could do both a little bit. This guy is an incredible talent at both spots. If he chose to play only one of them, he still would have been a top 10 pick at whichever one that was. They're just having a difficult time figuring this out. And I think that we probably should have expected that more than we did. Everybody, like people were just sort of like, oh yeah, they'll do it. Like he said that he wants to play both ways, he'll play both ways. So while it's taking a little longer to catch on, I think that he'll be fine. I do. And I like the buy window. Also, it has to be noted that Shane Waldron is currently employed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shane Waldron, known wide receiver killer. He hates wide receivers. He wants them to perish. Right? We've seen this for 3 years straight. We saw JSN in an interview get asked about Shane Waldron, and his first response was, "Is this live?" All right. Then he goes to Chicago. Roma Dunze, awful rookie year. Now he's in Jacksonville. Brian Thomas finally had a good game last week. I mean, it's just at some point a pattern forms, right? So I'm not worried about Travis Hunter. The other guys have looked good, so you have to rank them ahead of him. But I like the value here. I think he will be fine. Unless he ends up a full-time corner, I think this is a fine value for him to be at.
Which is a legitimate concern. So
Yeah,
I think late first is kind of worth the risk on him. Because if he came out and was only played wide receiver, he would have still been my wide receiver one in this class. And we've seen his body control, his ball tracking skills is just elite. And we've seen that already this year. His usage is just so weird. It's like 2 weeks ago, he was the deep threat guy, played it great. This week, he was like, we're only going to use you at the line of scrimmage. Here's 4 catches for 15 yards. And it's weird that like they kind of like look at the game plan for who they're playing and they'll be like, all right, you're going to be the deep ball this guy this week. This week, you're going to be only taking screens. his usage is just so weird. But
It's
I
almost
believe in
like
the talent.
he's has to spend too much time in the defensive meetings to be able to do everything on offense every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I'm sure like planning for different types of coverages and assignments and stuff on defense is probably more difficult than okay, you're running a post. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And so far we
Like,
haven't seen Cohen's words where he was like, yeah, he's going to be primarily a receiver.
it's
Um,
just been flip flopping all over the place. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, let's
It's just a guy that
move
I
on to
can't really
112.
trust.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, and that's why he's fallen this far.
Yeah.
Uh, who do you have at 112?
Oh God, this hurts me. I'm going to go with Loveland. My heart wants to go Taylor. I'm going to go Loveland just because of the draft profile, the capital, the age. He's extremely young for a tight end.
Yeah.
And it's a guy that Ben Johnson took, so I just have trust that he's going to figure out the best usage for him.
Yeah, I mean, he was drafted ahead of Tyler Warren, right? I don't think that Ben Johnson is an idiot. I think that Loveland also came into camp injured. I think that this is a good buy window for Loveland, as I said last week. Uh, I think he'll be fine. He looked okay last night too. He showed a few flashes,
Yeah.
and Cole Kmet is not somebody who's going to stop him from taking that tight end one spot on that team. Okay, we're gonna rapid fire this second round.
Yeah, 201. Who you got?
201, RJ Harvey. Good draft capital. A little bit surprising that he went in the second round, but J.K. Dobbins is not going to be there forever. We know that Sean Payton running backs are good. He has the receiving profile. He's looked good. This is kind of like Travion Henderson, but with less flash, right? J.K. Dobbins has looked good as well, but he's not going to be there forever. And I think that Sean Payton has a plan for RJ Harvey, whether it's this season or next. I think that RJ Harvey will, at some point, be a relevant starting every week running back.
It's funny because I'd be really hyped about Henderson if he got the same usage. Like how Harvey is being used with the Broncos should be how we're
Yeah.
using Henderson. Harvey's only getting 30% of snaps so far, but he's been effective in that usage. He gets targeted a bunch. He usually averages 4 to 6 targets a game. And for that kind of running back, that's great.
Yeah.
So,
and it should continue to increase, right?
yeah, he's passed the eye test so far from what I've seen. My 202 is Mason Taylor, and
there it is. There it is.
I would have taken him at 201 over Harvey if I had the pick. He's the best. That's all I can say. I've talked enough about
He's
Mason Taylor.
Yeah.
He accounted for like all 10 of or all 11 or whatever of Justin Fields passing yards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's an opportunity there for a number 2 target going forward, and I think that he will be that regardless of who the quarterback is. At the 203, I will take Matthew Golden. Still has the first round draft capital. I think that he's shown flashes. He looked good this week against the Bengals. Now the production hasn't been there yet, but it takes some time, right? And not every first round wide receiver is a Mike Igbukah. So I think that we should hold on to that draft capital. And I think he's shown enough to be not fall too far from where he was in the offseason here to the 203.
Yeah, he's had a lot of plays this year where he gets wide open and Love just isn't on the same timing as him, just whiffs on him. Because he's had like 3 or 4 different like 60-yard touchdowns he could have had if Love just hit him. So we would be thinking about him way differently if those plays connected. And I think we're going to see over time as their timing kind of builds that once they start hitting on those plays, I think he's going to take a step up for sure. My what are we at? 204?
Go for
204 is going to be Harold Fannin.
Ooh, okay.
He's another big riser in rookie drafts. Browns have an out on Njoku's contract this offseason. It'll be very interesting to see if they let him walk. I don't think they do. And if they keep Njoku, I'm not that worried. Fannin plays a different role than Njoku does. Fannin is essentially a big power slot wide receiver. And they've been using him all over the field. They're moving him around. Currently tight end 12 on the year. And he hasn't hit his touchdown ceiling also. So I think there's room for him to grow. I think he could slot into that kind of tight end 4 to 7 range. And has tight end 1 upside if he clicks with he has that receiving workload. I mean, he was the number 1 receiver in college football as a tight end.
Yeah.
And another one of those is very the Cam Scatabo of tight ends. He had the insane production profile in college, and his biggest
It's like Bowling Green, and nobody thinks that he
Bowling
can
Green, yeah.
replicate it.
But I mean, when you're a tight end and you put up that big of numbers as a tight end in college, I think it's something to take note of.
Yeah.
And he came in week 1 was just a receiving threat right off the bat. So
Absolutely, and Njoku is a little banged up now, and so I think that there's an opportunity for him to really blow up the next couple of weeks if Dylan Gabriel can figure it out.
yeah.
205. I'm gonna take the only guy left who is the RB1 on his team. Well, no, maybe there's another one. I'm gonna take Bill. I'm gonna take Bill here. He didn't look great last night, but there's an opportunity here. It's a mid-second round value. There's an opportunity here for him to really have some big games like he did against the Chargers last week. And if he can stack a few of those on top of each other, this could be like an Isaiah Pacheco type of value come the offseason, where nobody saw it coming. And Bill's a weird one. I'll be really quick with this. He couldn't play in 2024 because of a
eligibility,
he let somebody else
weirdness.
Yeah, he let somebody else wear his jersey number. And there was a mistake with the jerseys. And then once somebody else wore his number and he was also registered with that number and they wore it first, he wasn't allowed to play again. He couldn't transfer, couldn't do nothing. So people were having to scout his 2023 tape. And a lot of draft analysts that I trust really liked the tape in 2023. And it was just like, this guy didn't play last year. And so teams don't know what to do with him. So he falls to the 7th round. Maybe he doesn't go that low if he plays in 2024. And obviously, yeah, there's a huge opportunity ahead of him here for the rest of the season.
And what player has had more of a meme value rise than Bill?
Oh, Bill. Bill.
And I think there's opportunity for him to gain value because he's still only getting 40 to 50% of snaps. And
that could increase.
I just want to see him get up to that 60, 65% number that we kind of look for in our running backs. My 206 is Luther Burden. He's incredibly young. I think he's still 21. He has the talent and potential. He was like going into last year, he was regarded as the top wide receiver in this class. And he had a lot of off the field issues come up, which like was kind of weird because they would interview his coaches and teammates and they're like, yeah, we haven't seen any of this. But again, another one of the weird Ben Johnson where you just like trust in the system, trust in the talent. He's starting to be used in creative ways, and we're kind of already seeing his usage ramp up a bit. So he's my 206. I feel like he's the last player on the board that has that high upside. So I'm going to take a swing on him in the mid-second.
Yeah, I like that. I talked about that last week. Obviously, him and Loveland being good buys. Luther Burden getting phased out. Yeah, I really like it there. I think there's one more player with high upside here, and I'm going to take him at the 207, Woody Marks. Now, maybe people have forgotten him a little bit because he had the big game, then he had the not so great game against Baltimore in the blowout, and then they had their bye. But Nick Chubb is not the future of this team. Woody Marks very well could be. And it's a weird one because after that big blow-up game, D'Amico Ryans was saying, we want to find any way possible to get this guy more involved. And then they didn't really do that against the Ravens.
At all.
Obviously, they didn't need to. They blew them out. They did not need to use him. So I'm interested to see how they use him going forward. Nick Chubb is not going to last this season dominating the snap share. I do not think it for a second. It doesn't look like Joe Mixon is going to play in 2025. So I like the upside shot of Woody here.
I love it. And you sniped my pick. So I was really looking forward to it.
Happens.
My 208 is Caleb Johnson. I'm not ready to bail on him yet. And we see this every year from Arthur Smith. Can we just like stop giving Arthur Smith jobs in the NFL? Like,
oh my God, yeah.
How does every single year a team jumps on the opportunity to hire him as an offensive coordinator, and he's not good. So this happens every year with Arthur Smith. It did it. He had Bijan Robinson on the Falcons, and he's like, you know what, Tyler Algier, we need to get him 50% carries.
Yeah,
And like
awful.
Algier's great. He's probably the best backup running back in the league. And but he's not Bijan. And
No.
I understand getting Algier like 30% carries, not like splitting 50-50 with him. And we see this every year from Arthur Smith, and it almost every single year that running back usually takes that next step once he's gone. And I think Steelers might be done. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I think Tomlin might be out. Arthur Smith is not going to stay there. Rodgers is retiring. I think the Steelers are just going to be a clean slate after this year if they don't make the playoffs. And that it's tough because you don't want to bank on a player that is coming in with a whole new coaching staff coming in who didn't take them. But I'm still at this point in the draft, I'm going to bank on Caleb figuring it out, him carving out a workload by year 2.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, right now, unless the Ravens can go on a crazy run when Lamar comes back, it looks like the Steelers have that division locked up. And so, hopefully, I would love to be rid of Arthur Smith as well. Caleb is starting to get some more looks. Obviously, he had 2 bad games, including the awful special teams mishap. Then he gets scratched, and now he's starting to play like close to 20% of the snaps, getting a few carries, which you like to see. Hopefully, that can continue over the course of the year. I still believe in the talent, and so that's why I like the pick here. Where am I? 209 now?
209.
209. I'll go Alec. I'll take Alec Manor here. 4th round pick, but a lot of people liked him better than that in the draft space. He has the opportunity to be the wide receiver 1 for Cam Ward going forward. I like that upside shot here. There's obviously 3 second-round wide receivers that are still on the board. But I like what Alec has shown so far, playing a lot of the snaps, looking good in a very bad situation. So I like the pick here.
Yeah, I was very out on A.O. Manor in the draft. I just didn't like his draft profile that much. But he came into the Titans, carved out a starting wide receiver role pretty quickly. And this past week, he had 93% snap share. So
yeah, he's playing.
You can't really ignore that. And to get a wide receiver who's on the field every single snap at the end of the second, you kind of just have to jump on that.
Yeah.
My 210 is going to be Higgins. Hasn't really showed much this year. He is playing behind Christian Kirk. I just loved Higgins coming out of college. He just felt like a Nico Collins clone. And yeah. I feel like they're going to figure out how to use him in this offense and how to work him in. And I'm not too worried about him, especially at the end of the second. I'm going to take the shot on the wide receiver who has the talent to put up wide receiver, who could be a wide receiver 1 on their team. I think Texans just have to figure out how to use that wide receiver core because there's so many options there.
But yeah, and they just had the bye week, so hopefully going forward, maybe they had some time to get the rookies more involved there. We see that every year. Sorry. There's a few other second-round wide receivers that I could take here. Jack Besh is on the board. Trey Harris is on the board, both of which have done nothing really. But I'm going to take a running back here. I'm going to go with Bashal Tutin. I don't think that Travis Etienne is necessarily a big second contract kind of guy. He hasn't looked as good the past few weeks as he did at the very beginning of the season, not as efficient. So I think that there's a world in which Bashal Tutin increases his role towards the end of the season here. Travis Etienne moves on, and we're looking at Bashal Tutin being a 1A in a committee, or maybe just the running back 1 on this team. He's looked good in flashes. He's getting a bit of goal line work. He's getting some receiving work. So I like Bashal Tutin here at the 211.
Yeah, I think Etienne's been great. I think you've been a little bit of a hater on him.
The last few weeks hasn't been as good, though.
But I don't think he's on this team next year. I don't think the Jaguars will want to spend that cap space on him. And I think there's another team that's going to want Etienne more. So it'll be interesting to see if they take a guy next year. Doesn't seem like the running back class next year is very good outside of like Jeremiah Love. But we'll see what happens. I think Tuin starts to, because he was a 3rd-round pick, right?
4th, same with Scouter.
4th. But yeah, I think we'll see him kind of carve out a workload.
And the last pick of the draft.
My final pick is going to be Torrey Horton.
Ooh.
And dude, he's had 2 plays this year where he scored a long touchdown and was called back by penalty. And he's getting about 45-50% snap share. And he's been a fairly consistent target when called on. And if he had those 2 long touchdowns scored, we would be thinking about him more towards the like mid-second range, I feel like. And he's looked good. He's already like wasn't a guy I was really big on in the draft. I liked his physical profile, but I don't know.
4th-round receivers are just,
they're just how many 4th-round receivers actually become anything?
Yeah, the hit rate is awful.
Yeah, but he's looked good in his limited usage, and he's gradually had a snap share increase every week. And I think I'd be fine sending a 212 for him because he's kind of shown it already in bursts. And I think the more that he gets in this offense, he's going to start pulling more target share away from Cooper Kupp and more to him. So yeah, he's my final pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant.
I like it. I like it a lot. So that was our rookie draft redo. This was a lot of fun. I hope everybody listening enjoyed the little different for us. We'll try and get more fun concepts like this involved. Obviously, we can't draft something every single week, but everybody loves that.
I mean, we could.
We could. I don't know how. rookie redraft every week. Yeah. So, but yeah, really appreciate everybody listening. We'll be back next week with something that we haven't decided yet, but we'll figure it out. And hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying the podcast.
Leave a comment.
We'll have a graph.
Leave a comment.
You think Tell us how dumb we are.
Yeah, if you think our rankings are awful, tell us what we could do different.
Absolutely. And if you're in a league with me, don't take advantage.
Stop listening. In fact, unsubscribe.
Stop listening. No, don't. Yeah, definitely not.
This league is already ruining some trades for me, and it's already ruining some trades for you. This podcast is.
Yeah.
So
it's all right. It comes with the territory.
It does.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week.
Later.